Hello Skyliners, welcome to episode 2 of San Fernando Valley, and I've built quite a bit since the first episode. So on the first episode basically I'd built this area, which is where I started. I kind of moved south through the valley and I built some of this area, and I think that might have been about all I built. I created a district here, a industrial district with some ore and oil. I know, just ore, I think, yeah, ore industry area. So we've got some production going on there. In real life, this area is actually a giant car park. If you look in Google Earth, let's go down here. Where are we? Up here. In real life, this area is just, I don't know what the heck this is, but it's just, what is it, like scrap cars or something? I don't know. I mean, I could have created that, but I actually didn't want to, so I created this instead. Then I crept down to the south and created this industrial area here, and then carried on down and did all of this. And then I spread a little bit over this way too. So what we've got so far is this. We've got a population of 28,000, 29,000 nearly, which is still tiny. So massive amount more to do yet. I've started to expand to the west of the freeway. Can't remember the name of that freeway now. Further south it becomes the Hollywood freeway, I think. That might be still the Hollywood freeway. Probably should name it. I can do longer videos now too, apparently, because I've put my phone number in YouTube. So that was the problem. All these years of doing YouTube videos, and I hadn't even realised that it was a lack of a number that was preventing me from doing longer videos. I'm a bit cagey about putting phone numbers in places, but you know, I've been on YouTube for years, so I figured it was pretty good, pretty fine. Now we've got these corridors. Now let's go to Google Earth. In this instance, these these channels, they're being used for power lines. I don't know what their true function is, whether it's like a future highway. I really am not totally sure. And some of it is used for just parking. On this one, we've got all of this, you know, like plant nurseries and probably allotments even. If you look up here, we've got what looks like allotments growing, you know. This is used for plant nursery or growing, whatever it is, but it's definitely agricultural. So when we go back to the game, I've turned it into an agricultural industrial district. So if we get into the, keep pressing the wrong buttons, go into the district view. What I've done is I've created these elongated industrial agricultural districts. Okay, and I've put farming and a little bit of, I mean, in this case it's not true to life, but I've put some cattle grazing in there too. So anyway, those channels, those corridors, they're going to be used for agricultural, or maybe even a little bit of forestry. So that's fine. So that's done. Yeah, we're starting to spread out. Really need to find some new building types. Oh, pardon me. I'm drinking a beer. It's making me burp. So I'm using quite a lot of these shanty buildings, which I really love. I think they're made so well. They're, you know, they they don't pixelate when you zoom out like some buildings do. They're really well made. If we go into the game, Shanty, here we are, I've already got it. Shanty, they've been around a while. There's so many different ones. They're great for this type of thing. So, you know, if we were going to create another part of this corridor, you could just go like that. I often put in, you know, some parking to break it up, like that. Another shanty, like that, like that. So there we go. I call these commercial corridors, basically. Sometimes they have residential buildings on them, or medium density, you know, residential, but a lot of the time these avenues or boulevards are lined by really a mixture of commerce, small industry, you know, gas stations, all sorts of things. And really that kind of situation is going to be across the whole map, or as much as I can cover. If we go into Google again, and we go back to these boulevards, what have we got down in the area that we're at? Here's a good example. So what have we got along here? We've got gas stations, small businesses, you know, shops, industrial units. What's that? Don't know what that is. Shopping mall. Who knows what these things are? You know, car yards. That looks like. What's that? Is that like? Oh, Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. Always reminds me of the movie Idiocracy, brought to you by Carl's Jr. Crazy movie that is, almost coming true as well. So there's a lot of stuff, you know. I need to find some new assets really, because when we look at things like this, it's difficult to reproduce this in Skylines. There's so much going on, and also these where are they? Hold on. These types of buildings, you know, like obviously apartments, condos or whatever. I need to find some buildings that are very similar to these. You know, these types of buildings. It's a bit difficult, to be honest. So we go back to the game. So up here, for instance, I've been trying to mimic this by putting in some of these. These are common flats, and then there's these condos. What's the names of these things? Let's have a look. Brazilian residential. There's some good buildings there. Chicago apartments, City Commons, common flat. All these generic Dutch, whatever that is. These are Malta. So there's a bunch of different. These burnt wood heights. Some Malta flats. You know, there's lots of different things we can kind of get that. I think these are Spanish oaks. Quite a few different buildings that will approximate the real life situation. What else? Scandinavia residence. I really like these. I use these all the time, these things. Scandinavia residence. So I put them, that's 4 of them. I usually just create a block like that. What's that? Mid-rise studio apartment. Yes, there's a lot of different stuff here. A lot of work to do yet. Big project, this one. It's a labour of love, this one. Just going to have to keep going with it. I think my next plan is going to be to